All right, what's going on, everybody? This is your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and welcome to week number 2. That is right, week number 2 of your 7314 class, which is your reference sources and services class. We don't have a lot to talk about today. I'm actually going to keep this check-in video fairly brief, but there are a few things that I want to say to you all, and then I'm going to make sure that you all know how to use the library's Journal Finder and Interlibrary Loan features, because those may be important to you as you advance through CISLT, and I want to make sure that you have that knowledge to be as successful as you can be, because as you know, Dr. Jace loves you, so he is going to do everything within his power in order to make you successful. So without further ado, let's do this. All right, so first, before we do anything else, and I mean anything else, one thing that I do want to say is I was actually a bit bewildered and surprised that there were 5 of you who did not do the week 1 discussion prompt on time. All right, now first of all, what I want to do is just make sure that you all are aware that about 5 of you actually did not do the week 1 discussion prompt on time. Like I said, about 5 of you missed that, and so I did have to record zeros for your grades for that, and I totally did not want to do that. So please make sure that you finish the discussion prompts on time, and the due date should be showing up in Canvas. So the vast majority of you did get your discussion prompts in on time and completed the discussion for week 1 on time. But I don't want to have 5 students missing that ever again for this course. So just make sure you are attuned to the due dates and when the discussion prompts need to be completed. That is very, very important. And I do not want to record any more zeros for people just because they missed the discussion prompt. That is not what we want. I will say that for those of you who did do the discussion prompts on time, they were overall very, very good. So they were very detailed. I could see the thought. It was just wonderful. So I know you all are thinkers. I know you all are thinking in addition to being thinkers. And that's what I like to see, and that's what I want to see continue. So the level of activity that you've got going now, as far as if you did the discussion prompt for the first week, keep up that level of quality, and you will not have any difficulty in this class as far as your grades with the discussion prompts. Now, another thing that I am going to say is that quite a few of you have done your unassignment already, and that's pretty cool, but it's not due until late September, so you've still got some time. But part of the reason that the unassignment is included in the discussion prompts is because I want you all to learn from each other. So if you go over to the unassignment discussion, you will see that several of your classmates have already done the prompted work, and you can learn about the databases that they had to cover in the unassignment, and that should help you build up your database knowledge for our library databases. So please get on that. And also a final thing to note before I leave the discussion board stuff alone is that I do want to make sure you all are aware that I do read all of the discussion prompts, all of the discussion posts and replies. However, I will not reply to everybody. You'll still be graded for the quality, but just because you do not get an actual response from me, that does not mean that I haven't read your response or your post. I have read it, and there are going to be times, most of the time even, where I'm not going to feel compelled to actually respond to what you said, but I am taking note of what's being said. So please also keep that in mind. And from there, let's look at the Journal Finder features and the Interlibrary Loan features for the for Ellis Library, because the thing is, I'm actually going to put this ball back in your court a little bit as far as if there are articles with broken links. If you all want to be librarians, then it means that you need to be able to find information. So I'm not always going to, sometimes you're gonna just find a broken link in this class, and instead of me giving you the proper link, I'm gonna turn it back on you and say, go find it. Because I hate to break this to you if you don't already know, but that's gonna be a lot of what you do in your professional library practice. People are going to tell you such and such an article exists, but they don't know how to find it, and it's gonna be up to you to find it. So you might as well get used to doing that now, and Dr. Jace is going to help you with that. Pause. All right, so we've got a fresh browser here, and we are going to go to the libraries. Actually, what we should probably do, because Chrome has been a little weird for me. So let's see if we can do this in Firefox. Okay, so we are at the Ellis Library homepage, and what we need to do is we need to show you all how to use the Journal Finder feature, and we need to show you all how to use Interlibrary Line. So let's do the Journal Finder feature first. So when you are at the Ellis Library homepage, which is library.missouri.edu, what you can do is come down here to looking for, and then where it says specific journals. So I am going to pause just so I can show you. I need to pull up an example of when this might be useful. Hold on one moment. All right, folks, so I think I found one. It's actually going to be this caregiver burden in Partners of Vietnam War Veterans with Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. This appeared in a journal in 1996, and if I click on that link, I will see exactly what journal it was. However, here's what I want to show you all. So when you are using Google Scholar, a lot of times there are open access journals and information that you can link up to, and you do not have to be affiliated with a library at all. So like, for instance, if you see a link over here, like for this article in one of these journals from 2011, if you see this link, then that means that you have open access to it, okay? This is an open library article. You do not need to be affiliated with a library to pull this up. As you can see, I pulled up this, I clicked on this link, and I had the full text access right there. So I'm sitting pretty with an article like this. But let's say that I have an article like this, and I do not have this convenient little link toward the side. And as you can see, we've got Journal of something here. So this isn't a Google Books thing like this is. This is actually a journal article, and it's something that we are going to want to pull up through Journal Finder, because if I click this link right here, as you can see, it is telling me to buy the article, and it is telling me that I have to pay $15. If all goes according to plan, and I have not fully tried this, but I think it's going to work for me, if all goes according to plan, then I should be able to pull up the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology, and I should be able to get the full text of this article through the library without having to pay for it on the open web. So let's see if Dr. Chase is correct. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to highlight the name of that article, the name of that journal, which again is the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology. And we are going to come back over here, and we are going to go to looking for specific journal. And we are going to plug that bad boy in. Here we go. It's coming up. And click search. All right, and I am brought here. So we have the name of the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology. And as you can see, full text access, at least according to EBSCO, is going all the way back to 1937. So we have an article from 1996 here. So this should be included in the coverage range if the coverage range is 1937 to present. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to come in here. I actually think my password needs to be updated, so let's do that. Yeah, update that for me. And here we go. So I am now brought to the journal's landing page within EBSCO, and as you can see, I've got a bunch of years here to the right. Now, again, I know that this article was published in 1996, specifically October of 1996. So I am going to come down here to where it says 1996, and I am going to expand. And we don't have our month here, so we're going to have to go back here and look for our volume and issue information. So we've got volume 64, issue number 5. So I'm going to come here to volume 64, issue number 5. I am going to click that. And what I should find here are all of the articles that were in that issue of this particular journal. So now if I am looking for this particular article, Caregiver Burden, it looks like it starts on page 1068. So we may have to do a little bit of scrolling. As you can see, we are at page 841 here, so we've got to scroll down quite a bit. Now, another thing you can do, and I may be about to do it, is... oh goodness, yeah, we've got a lot to wade through. There was a lot of content in this issue. We're going to get there. What was that first page? 1068. Holy moly. Okay. So, hopefully page 4. Or results list 4. Use advertisements. Huh. I hope EBSCO doesn't make Dr. Jason to a liar. Keep your fingers crossed. There it is, 1068 to 172, Caregiver Burden in Partners of Vietnam War Veterans with Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. This is the same title that you see here, but whereas you are being prompted to pay $15 here, what you would do is just click full text. And as you can see, I now have the full text to the article. So, again, keep this in mind. I am not always going to tell you how to find an article with a broken link. I may leave it up to you to find it because that is how you are going to get some real-world practice, okay? But this is how you can come up with one of these articles from Google Scholar or wherever if you need to turn to the library in order to get the full access. So that is what we are doing there. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I am going to turn you loose, as we say in the South. So, actually, I'm going to pause for a moment. Be right back. All right, so like I said, the last thing I'm going to show you here, and I'm glad for this because I can keep this video under 20 minutes. Now, this might be something that I could also find on Journal Finder, but I just want you all to see Interlibrary Loan and know what it is in case you want to use it. So, Interlibrary Loan, actually, does this have free full text? If it does, then, you know. Ah, good, it doesn't have free full text. So, this one right here, let's say that we did the Journal Finder thing and we could still not find it. So we were going to have to use Interlibrary Loan. Here's how we do it. Quick links, request an item, Interlibrary Loan. We are going to log on to ILL@MU. Again, I've got to update this password. Yes. Okay. Now, what I can do is, if I want the full text of this article, rather, again, than paying for it, and your students are not going to want to pay for this stuff, because they pay a lot in tuition anyway, you can direct them to request a new article, and then you can just fill in the appropriate information. The information with the asterisk beside it is the information that you need to fill in. So we have a journal title, and the journal title is the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry. I'm going to highlight that, copy and paste. I'm going to put that in there. Volume and issue number, if you have it, 62.8. 62.8. we've got a year, and our year is going to be 2001. Inclusive pages, 617 to 622. I think I had that right. Yeah, 617 to 622. All right, and then we will scoot down a little further. Article author is still usually helpful to have, so I can just plug these people all in. Boom. Article title is this up here. Copy. Paste. And I would usually give them at least 2 weeks, but I'm going to leave that the way it is for October 31st. Then I'm going to click Submit Request. And then what happens is once they've been able to locate your article and fulfill your request, then you will get the opportunity to download it by clicking View, and then you can download the PDF if you so choose. So that's how that works. Okay, so that is the odds and ends to using the Journal Finder feature and to also using the feature for interlibrary loan. And these things are going to come in handy in your librarian practice, so please get used to them and get used to using them now. Having said that, that's pretty much it for me. I'm glad I could keep this under 20 minutes. I'm not always able to do that, unfortunately, but we got it done this week. We probably won't get it done next week. Anyway, until next week, I'm Dr. J's. Peace and grace, and you all have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you. See ya.